Hey guys, Ron Parks here and welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about budgeting and why you should all have one. And then if you wait around, I'll talk about one of my favorite budgeting methods that's easy and way effective. But first I want to go through some of the reasons why I love having a budget, and I think you will also. Number one, budgeting saves you money. If you have a budget, it means you know what you can and cannot afford. You shop around to stay within your budget and you'll soon find you have an eye for a bargain. Number two, budgeting keeps you out of debt. Good budgeters don't need to rely on overdrafts, expensive credit cards, or high interest loans like payday loans, because having a budget in place to avoid this trinity of expensive financial products saves you money from the start. Some people have a budget in place to help them to repay debt. Well, it's a brilliant idea, but it's vital that the budget is accurate and realistic before you set up a debt payment plan. Okay, number three, you can save for treats and afford them. People sometimes think that living on a budget will mean living like a hermit and not having any fun because they can't buy anything. Well, that's not true, because having a budget in place actually helps to spoil yourself a bit more. You can put money aside to spend on entertainment and little treats, because treating yourself to something is all the sweeter knowing that you've saved for it and you have the funds. It means there should be no guilt in blowing a bit of cash on something you want without getting a debt hangover. Number four, you have all the essentials. If you budget properly and really plan well, it means you'll never run out of essentials towards the end of the month. For example, your car shouldn't be running on fumes 3 days before payday if you budget correctly. So this leads on to the next point, number five. Budgeting means less stress. Well, we all need that in life. And some people don't understand that a good budget can be created in around 30 minutes. It might require a little willpower to start, but you'll find having a budget in place and sticking to it will reduce your stress. No more worrying about how you're going to afford things when your money gets low, because a good personal budget will make sure you've planned for everything in advance. And every good budget should include emergency savings for when something goes wrong, which it will. Now, this is your backup money and will help you with any unexpected costs. Okay, number six, a budget can make your life easier. Always worrying about cash is a waste of your time. So take 30 minutes to put a budget together and stick to it. No more worries, no more hassles. Let your budget take the strain and gain a sense of freedom. And if things don't work out perfectly at the start, then go back to your budget and see what you've learned. Adjust the budget and then continue. If you fail to plan, you'll plan to fail. So if you don't budget, you'll always be fudging the money. Okay, number seven, stability and planning for the future. Once you become an advanced budgeter, you can start to plan for the long term, something you really can't do without a budget. You can make provisions for clearing out your debts and then go on to savings, retirement plans, and investments. You'll be able to build up a savings and emergency fund, and you'll be able to look to the future with an informed idea of how things will be financially in the next 5 or 10 years. Okay, number eight, budgeting saves you time. So what's the most precious finite thing on earth? It's time. Once you spend it, you can't get it back. How much time do you spend on money? Do you worry about it a lot? Are you always wishing you had more of it? Are you always thinking about how to take charge of your cash? A budget will save you time worrying, thinking, and stressing out about money. And number nine, the final reason why you should never get bored with a budget is control. A budget gives you control over your life. You're in charge. Whatever your goals are in life, we all need money in some form or the other. And if you put together a good budget and stick to it, you're in the driver's seat. So now that we're talking about budgeting, we should also talk about how many people try to get rich by emulating certain billionaires like Warren Buffett. Well, that's great, though. They miss or choose to ignore an important ingredient. One reason Buffett is so rich is because he is also infamously frugal, and he has been investing since the age of 11. There are numerous examples of Buffett's frugality. For example, when his first child was born, he converted a dresser drawer into a bassinet. And for his second child, he borrowed a crib. He drove a Volkswagen until his wife upgraded him to a Cadillac when she felt, well, that was much better for his image. And he still lives in Omaha, Nebraska, in the same house he bought for $31,500 50 years ago. But Buffett manages money and wealth on the principle that small sums compound, and you need to accumulate for as long as you can. And you also need to understand where your money's going. And he believes every penny not spent today means a lot more money to invest or use in the future. In the book, The Millionaire Next Door, they found some interesting truths about many millionaire households that they profiled in America. Most of the millionaire households that they profiled didn't have any extravagant lifestyles or luxury items like branded watches, fancy suits, fancy cars. They accumulate so much wealth precisely because they live below their means. And T. Harv Eker summarizes it with these wise words: the habit of managing your money is more important than the amount. And this is one of the 17 factors that differentiates rich people from poor people. So if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you can smash the like button and subscribe. I post twice a week, and if you have any comments, please list them below. And until next time, thanks.